Have you ever been scrolling on your phone, you look up, and poof, 20 minutes are just gone? Or you try to read a book, but your brain just keeps jumping back to your inbox. If you feel like your ability to focus is kind of broken, you are definitely not alone. And as we're about to see, this isn't just you. It's a symptom of the entire world speeding up around us. It all starts with this one number, 8.25 seconds. According to the latest research, that right there is the average attention span of a human being today. Just over 8 seconds before our brain starts looking for the next thing, the next distraction. I mean, just let that sink in. 8 seconds. And to put that into a bit of humbling perspective, a goldfish has an average attention span of 9 seconds. No, that's not a joke. You heard me right. A goldfish can theoretically hold a thought longer than we can. And while it's a funny headline, the reality behind it is actually pretty unsettling. So what on earth is going on here? This isn't just some random fluke. We are seeing a very clear, very measurable decline in our ability to pay attention. And the scariest part? It's getting faster. And look, this has been happening for a while. If you rewind the clock to the year 2000, our average attention span was a full 12 seconds. By 2013, it had already plummeted down to 8 seconds. That's a 25% drop in just over a decade. And that tiny little uptick you see today, don't let it fool you. It's basically a rounding error in what is otherwise an alarming freefall. But here's where it gets really dramatic. When you look specifically at how long we can focus on a single screen, wow, the numbers are just staggering. In 2004, we could stay locked onto one screen for about 2.5 minutes. By 2013, that was chopped in half, down to 75 seconds. And today, a mere 47 seconds. We've gone from being able to watch a whole movie trailer to barely making it through a TikTok. This constant switching isn't just a bad habit, it is literally rewiring our brain. You know, this shrinking focus, it's really just a symptom. It points to a much bigger condition, one that I bet a lot of us feel every single day. It's that chronic, nagging feeling that you're always in a rush. And believe it or not, some researchers actually have a name for it. It's called hurry sickness. And the wild thing is, the term was actually coined way back in the 1970s by cardiologists. They kept noticing their patients had this constant, urgent need to get things done. Now, it's not an official medical diagnosis or anything, but for anyone who's felt that low-grade panic that you're always running out of time, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? So what's feeding this feeling? Well, it's a bit of a perfect storm. Part of it is personal stuff, like perfectionism. Part of it is cultural. We live in a society that celebrates being busy like it's a virtue. But the real accelerant, the thing that poured gasoline on this fire for all of us, it's technology. That expectation of an instant reply, an instant delivery, an instant result, it's seeped into absolutely everything. And this all leads us to a really crucial question. Is this constant rushing, this inability to focus, is it just a personal problem? Is it a failure of our own self-discipline? Or are we all caught inside some giant machine that is forcing every single one of us to speed up? I mean, just think about it. Why do so many of us, from all different walks of life, all feel the same pressure, the same crushing lack of time? The answer might be found in a really powerful theory about what modern life has become. A sociologist named Hartmut Rosa calls it social acceleration. His big idea is that our lives are basically being controlled by an invisible time regime that is always unstoppably getting faster. So it's not just that things feel faster. Rosa argues that the very operating system of our society is now built on a foundation of constant speed. Now, Rosa breaks this down into 3 main forces that all feed each other. First, you've got technological acceleration. That's the obvious one. Faster internet, faster travel, you get it. Second is the acceleration of social change. Just think about how quickly our values, our fashions, even our jobs change compared to 100 years ago. And finally, you get the acceleration of our life tempo. Because of those first two, we feel this immense pressure to pack more and more actions and experiences into every single day. But here's the paradox, right? If technology is supposed to be saving us time, why does it feel like we have less of it than ever? Well, Rosa says there are 2 powerful motors hidden under the hood of society, constantly pushing the pedal to the floor. The first one is the social motor, which is just pure competition. That old idea that time is money has escaped the office and taken over our entire lives. We feel like we have to constantly be upgrading ourselves, performing better just to keep our spot. The second is the cultural motor. And this one's the promise that a good life is a full life, a life absolutely packed with experiences. So we try to live twice as fast, terrified of missing out on something. It's the ultimate FOMO. This quote just perfectly captures that feeling of the social motor. It's like you're on a treadmill and the speed just keeps ticking up and up and up. You have to run harder and harder, not to get anywhere new, but just to keep from being thrown off the back. So, okay, we're running faster and faster. What's the big deal? Well, the thing is, this endless acceleration comes at a really high price, a deep, psychological price. As the world speeds up around us, we start to feel this strange disconnection from our world and even from ourselves. Rosa calls this consequence alienation. It's that eerie feeling of doing things you don't actually want to do. Even though no one is holding a gun to your head, it's staying late at work when you'd rather be home. It's endlessly scrolling when you really wanted to read a book. It's the feeling that you're not really in the driver's seat of your own life. And this alienation pops up everywhere. We become alienated from our own things. We buy a new phone, and before it even has time to get a few scratches and feel like ours, we're already thinking about the next model. Everything becomes disposable. We also become alienated from our own actions. Just think about the modern workplace. How many people do you know who complain that they spend their entire day on emails, meetings, and busy work, all the have-to-dos, and almost no time on the actual, meaningful work that they were hired to do? And maybe the most profound of all, we become alienated from time itself. The philosopher Walter Benjamin made this brilliant distinction between two kinds of experience. Our lives become rich in what he called Erlebnissen. These are the singular, fleeting moments that we just consume and forget, like binge watching a TV show. But our lives become poor in Erfahrungen. These are the deep experiences that actually leave a mark on us, the ones that truly change who we are. And all of this, it leads to the great central paradox of our accelerated world, a feeling that so many of us know in our bones, even if we've never had a name for it. Hartmut Rosa calls it the frenetic standstill. It is that exhausting feeling of being incredibly busy, of running around all day long, but ending the week feeling like you've made zero real progress. It's the exhaustion of constant change without any meaningful direction. It's the hamster wheel made real. Things are always changing, but they're not actually moving. And that leaves us all with one final, very difficult question. Our entire society is built to reward speed, efficiency, and constant activity. The pressure to keep up is just immense. So, in a world that demands that we all dance faster and faster, how do we find the spaces, and more importantly, the courage to simply stand still?